Okay, video start. Okay, so this is Tuesday, the something or other, which the video will tell you. But I wanted to make sure I made my weekly video before my second class of C++. My class did finally meet last week. I found out what the problem was. The problem was that the original instructor didn't show up for class the way he was supposed to, and they had to find someone else at the last minute, and he's kind of a riot, but overall I think he's competent, and I like learning from him, at least for the, 3 hours I've been with him. So he didn't aggravate me completely already, and that's a good start. Let's see. The class does look like it's going to be very good for me. I don't know if I mentioned that or not in a video, but having seen the class, the material is very it's exactly what I need because we're focused. My problem is I studied Fortran, and Fortran has great, beautiful structure, and we talked a lot about the structure of how you write your programs and stuff, but I was always kind of fuzzy on the syntax, and in C++, the syntax is completely different in many ways from the way it was in Fortran. So I'm learning what I need to know, and I'm very pleased to be learning it. What else do I have going on? Then there was a Thursday and a Friday, and I did stuff with my, technically my younger brother's the leader, but it's as much my guild as his, because I think I play more than he does, and I organize more of the events that we do. We did some dungeon runs. We tried to do some on Friday, didn't work out. We ended up doing a lot more on Sunday than we did on Friday, so... Oh, and I pulled my, what are they called, guildmates, and they said that the 8 o'clock was a terrible time for them because a lot of them are West Coast or somewhere out there. So 10 o'clock works a whole lot better. So that's what we'll be doing. What else have I had going on? On Saturday, I went on the worst test drive ever. So my mother wanted us to go on a test drive, and she wanted to go, but she wasn't feeling up to it because of stuff. She wasn't feeling well, so she had my older brother and I go in her place. She said, look at these cars, tell me, are they good, are they bad, what kind of problems they have, and let me know what to do about them. And so we went. We showed up, and they gave us all the stuff we needed to go on the test drive. We got out of the car, and I said, hey, let's look under the hood, because Mom said to do that because it was kind of important, and George was like, what are we going to be looking for? And I know a clean engine is a bad sign, so that's what I said. And I also said, I don't really know, but I'm hoping that we can look and see if anything is terribly wrong. So we opened it up and we looked at it, and I said, wow, this engine is astoundingly clean. That must be a really bad engine. I wonder what's wrong with it. And we continued looking at it. I found where something was leaking. We couldn't figure out what that was, but it was definitely something leaking that hadn't been cleaned up. And I remember pointing at something and saying, is that duct tape? So we had a little bit of a laugh about that, but we were about to ride in it, so it wasn't too heartfelt. So we take it, and we took it out on the road. We're going down the road in the left lane, and my brother gets the message, power steering has gone out. No power steering? Huh, that's really bad. So, at the first turn, he does a U-turn, and he really has to work at it, and it was really terrible. He finally manages to get it in, and we get it into the parking lot, and he puts it in the parking space, and We're kind of like, it's not facing the right way, but we don't think we can turn it around, so we're just going to tell them it had a problem, to say the least. Yeah, the power steering went out. I can't even remember everything that was wrong with that car. Was that the one where I had to let my brother out too? I think it was. Because he was trying to open the door, trying to open the door, pushing on the door. He says, "Can you let me out?" So, something was wrong with it. Then there was the other car. And I said, "Let's look at the engine on this one." And he said, "Let's not bother, because something else is probably going to be wrong with it." So we got in, and the first thing he said was, "Wow, it smells awful in here." He compared it to fish, indirectly. And I thought it smelled okay-ish. Mostly, I thought it was tolerable. Um, so he cranked it up and he started driving it, and he said, "This car is shaking." So, and I was like, "That's not normal." And he said, "No, it's not. The timing is off," or something like that. So we drove around a little bit in that one, and went down, did the U-turn. Power steering did not go out. Although there were other problems with the car, like, I'm tall. The car ceiling was like just barely high enough to fit me, although that's kind of a moot point because the sun visor was kind of weak. The spring was worn out, so you had to hunch down to be able to see under it if you were tall. And it had problems too, but not as many. I think it was drivable. So we took it back and we said, yeah, we wouldn't want this one either. He and I both made estimates on how much it could reasonably be worth, and neither one of them was even close to the sticker price, so we didn't even consider getting it. Then what happened? Well, then it was Sunday, the next day. I mean, we did all that on Saturday, and then a lot of other stuff happened, and then it was Sunday. And on Sunday, I mostly played with my guildmates and my brother, and it was Monday. I'm trying to remember Monday. It was not really all that good, but I don't remember the details. The best thing about it was I got my programming textbook. This one. Which I think it's an excellent reference. I'm glad I have a class so that I don't have to do all of my learning directly from the book. But it is a good reference, and I'm glad that I have it. And we do reference the book while we're in class. So there were little things like he talked about and or statements, but he didn't go into them in great detail. So I think that this is good. I'm very happy to have it, and we got it at half the list price because we got it on Amazon. So we made out like bandits, except we are not criminals. Today's not been a good day. Oh yeah, and our cat was kind of sick-ish last night, so I set up a veterinary appointment for today. I'm hoping that I've done it right to the satisfaction of my mother because I did the best I could on it. I requested an appointment at 5:30, and the receptionist said it would be better if we do that a little earlier because it sounds like it's kind of involved. So she tried to push me all the way up to, what was it, 4 o'clock? I said, that's not going to work at all. Then she tried to push me up to 4:30, and I said, that's also not going to work. We finally ended up settling on like 4:45, and I said it will be a trial to try to hit that, but we'll try. We might be a little late, but we'll get there as soon as we can. So that's the plan right now, and I'm hoping that it goes according to plan, because the cat's name is Hunter, but I call her Vomit Breath. So I'm hoping that the cat will be okay. I've also been just generically working on my writing off and on. I think my mother might be a little jealous, because one of the things that writers need is time to sit down and write and collect their ideas and think things through, and that's what I have an abundance of right now, is time. So I've been trying to make the most of it. I took what I know of C++ and also what I know of gaming, and I've been working on a very, very basic game, which I've actually got more or less all planned out. Now it's just chugging through the programming of it and debugging it. But it's an old text-based game that's really, really ridiculously simple. So, yeah, I'm hoping to finish that up. It won't be much of anything special, but it'll be an exercise. And the last thing is I've been working on my shogi board again. Shogi is a little bit like chess. This is the board that I made. You can tell what I made it from because it's cardboard. And I also made, I need to add some color to this thing so I don't lose track of, a box for holding the pieces. It's 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch, and it holds the pieces, has a nice little lid, and seriously, I need to put something on it so it's not just, this is going to get lost, so I need to figure out how to make it not get lost. And also maybe put something else on it so that the lid stays shut. But overall, I think it'll be fine. Anyway, that's been my week. Tomorrow I have another class because today's Tuesday and tomorrow's Wednesday. And mostly everything is good. I talked to one of my friends. This is also kind of random. But I talked to one of my friends who said there might be a job opportunity at their company sometime around December-ish. So I'm going to be looking at them and keeping in touch. I'll, apply for it because on one hand it's not what I'm looking for, but at the same time it's been almost a year. If I haven't found work by now, I need to settle for something just to have money, because I need money. Everybody wants money, but maybe once I have some money I'll be able to do some of the other things that I've been trying to do, mostly that I haven't been doing because they require money. Well, I guess that's all for this week, and we'll see how things go next week.